All righty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this week's Together We Shine practice. And just a reminder of where the title of the weekly practice comes from, Together We Shine. It is in reference to Tejas. Tejas being the result of the tangible expression of our tapas. Tejas is defined or translated as the radiant splendor of personality that expresses as joy and enthusiasm and tenderness, and has the capacity to draw all hearts. And it is said that one who radiates with the light of Tejas becomes shiny. So thus the name Together We Shine. So these practices are an invitation for us to engage with tapas in the interest of becoming shiny and radiant and luminous for ourselves, but also to shine a brighter light out into the world and to demonstrate that there is a way of living that is fully present to the suffering in the world and yet still manages to be deeply established in peace and clarity and joy. So, no small task there. That's what we're here for. I'm just going to plug my computer in to make sure we don't even risk losing each other. Okay, excellent. So the practice today will be a rest practice, which is also a form of tapas, particularly for those of us who have a tendency to overdo it a little bit, who tend to push too hard, exert more effort than is absolutely necessary, carry the tension of that over-efforting, both physically and mentally. And a lot of that unnecessary tension and efforting comes from our habit of holding on to and carrying around things, thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs that we would most likely be better off letting go. So one of the ways that we can engage with more freedom is by lessening our bondage and lessening our baggage. So let's take a moment just to consider before we go into the practice. Anything that feels particularly heavy that you're carrying around at the moment, and maybe it's something that you are in the habit of carrying. Maybe it's something that feels newer. Maybe it is both simultaneously new and reflective of old habits. What are you carrying that feels extra heavy at the moment? And why are you carrying it? What are you carrying? And why are you carrying it? What might life be like if you were no longer carrying it? And is that version of reality worth the risk involved in letting go? Okay. We'll come back and do a little bit more contemplation in the spirit of Vairagya at the end of the practice. And just a reminder that the flip side of the coin of practice, Vairagya being on one side of that coin, the opposite is Abhyasa. And Abhyasa is the ardent effort to establish and sustain and a peaceful, inwardly flowing mind. That can be experienced in meditation, and it can also be experienced in yoga nidra. Peaceful, inwardly flowing mind. That is the only thing that you need to bring your effort to today, your intentionality. This is the way in which you show up and engage. Okay, so give yourself 2 minutes, 3 minutes to just move your body in any way that you'd like to. If you want to shake or wiggle or stretch or jump in place or maybe lightly sway, anything at all, 2 or 3 minutes to just be with your body, move mindfully. Tuning into anything on a sensory level, which might be pulling you outward toward the external world, the objective world. Continuing as you are, while beginning to bring more awareness to the breath. Another minute or so to just play, explore. And at the conclusion of that minute, begin to move towards Shavasana. And in Shavasana, bring the palms of the hands together gently and just start to rub the hands together, almost like you're washing them, but very gently. Savor the softness of the touch, almost like you are holding, caressing a baby bird. Feel into that sense of touch. At the same time that you monitor your breath. And continuing to be quite tender, bring the palms and the fingertips toward the face, and still as though caressing a baby bird. Just begin to explore the planes of the face, the ridges and the valleys. With one thread of awareness still fully attuned to the breath. And maybe explore the ears a little bit. Tracing the outer shell as well as the inner. And maybe the space just behind the ears as well. And the back of the neck, where the neck and the skull connect, and then all the way down to where the neck merges into the shoulders. See if you can become a little more aware of the impact this delicate touch has on the nervous system. And maybe gently caressing the space of the throat between the lower jaw and the collarbones. Tracing the collarbones themselves. A little bit of time spent at the pit of the throat, that hollow space. And then gently caressing the space of the chest, below the collarbones, toward the heart center and sternum. Maybe one hand finds home at the heart center while the other moves down toward the belly. Just tune in to what can be noticed by virtue of contact between the palms, the skin, the heartbeat, and the movement of the diaphragm. Remain with this connection for a few more breaths. 3 more breaths. Letting go of a few more layers of habitual tension and holding. Relax the hands, maybe rotate the wrists a few times, and then find where you'd like your arms to rest for the duration of the practice. Keeping the lips soft, generate an internal yawning sensation in the throat. If that develops into a full yawn, allow it to. Inviting prana to flood into any spaces that may have become a little dull, a little stagnant. And from the throat space, invite awareness to travel upward a bit to Agya Chakra. And allow for a sense of yawning in this space. It will feel far less physical, but potentially still expansive and illuminating. Take a moment with awareness at Agya Chakra to revisit that which has become too heavy, too burdensome, no longer worth the effort of carrying around. Whatever it is that you are ready to be liberated from. A thought pattern, a belief, a habit, maybe an entire coloring perspective on the world. We'll begin to move through the body space by space. Systematic relaxation. See if you can invite into this experience that quality of yawning, infusing each individual space with an inrush of prana, brightness, expansive, enlivening energy that very simply crowds out that which has become too dark, too heavy, too crowded and confining. Let's begin by shifting awareness upward toward the top of the head, and for about 3 breaths, invite that energetic yawning sensation. Crowding out that which has become too dark, too heavy, too constricting, with bright, spacious possibility. Bringing awareness now to the sides of the head. Same idea, a yawning sensation. Forehead. Eyebrows. Eyes. Temples. Outer and inner ears. Cheeks. Nostrils. Lips. Jaw. Inside of the mouth. Tongue. Neck. Throat. Collarbones. Shoulders. Upper arms. Elbows. Lower arms. Wrists. Palms. Fingers and fingertips. Palms. A yawning sensation in the palms. Wrists. Lower arms. elbows, upper arms, shoulders, chest, heart center, sternum, navel, pelvis, hips, perineum, upper legs, knees, lower legs, ankles, feet, toes and tips of toes, soles of the feet, a yawning sensation, ankles, lower legs, knees, upper legs, buttocks, sacrum, lower back, middle back, back of the heart, back of the shoulders and neck, back of the head, top of the head, remaining at the top of the head once again for a few breaths. Inviting that yawning sensation, expansion, and vitality. Staying with that experience of expansive vitality in and around the space at the top of the head. Anything that is not that, anything that is not light and spacious, radiant, vital, and free, anything else, we allow to be washed away, at least for this moment. With the next exhale, anything that is not that flows down and out through the soles of the feet. And with inhale, expansive radiance flow back up through the soles of the feet to the top of the head. With exhale, anything that is not that flows down through the space of the body and out through the soles of the feet. Expansive, radiant vitality flows back up and through. Stay with that oscillation. Exhale, moving down and out to be released. And with inhale, replenished with something new. Continue for a few more breaths with decreased effort. The next exhale flows just to the ankles. And inhale from ankles to the top of the head. Exhale, crown to ankles. And inhale, ankles to the crown of the head. Continue. Exhale from crown to knees. Inhale, knees to crown. Inhale. Exhale from the crown to the perineum. Inhale from perineum to crown. Continue. Crown to navel. Navel to crown. Crown to heart center. Heart to crown. Crown to throat, throat to crown. Crown to Agya chakra, Agya to crown. Continue. Crown to nostrils, nostrils to Agya chakra, Agya chakra to nostrils, nostrils to Agya, and continue. Inhale once more to Agya Chakra, releasing all residual effort. Remain at Agya Chakra, resting in the light, the space, the clarity of all that you truly are. While all that you are not simply dissipates, dissolves, disappears. re-enliven awareness at Agya Chakra. With inhale, lift awareness to the crown center. And with exhale, down through the space of the body, back to the soles of the feet. Inhale through the soles of the feet to the crown. Continue for a few more breaths. And with the next inhale, once again, rise to the crown of the head. Pause there briefly. Internally repeating Om Shanti. Draw awareness down to Agya Chakra, Shanti. To the throat, Shanti. To the heart, Shanti. To the navel, Shanti. Perineum, Shanti. Knees, Shanti. Ankles, Shanti. Soles of the feet, Shanti. Invite awareness to rehabitate the entire space of the body and the space in which the body is held. Invite the breath to grow full and come back to that yawning sensation. Letting that yawn manifest. Stretch in any way that you'd like. Move in any way that feels good and useful. And as you feel ready, bend the knees, roll to one side. Rest in a fetal position for a few more breaths. And then rise to a comfortable seat. Enjoy a few moments more of this deeply internalized awareness. Reacclimating the spine to this relationship with gravity and the earth. Press the palms together at the heart, bow the head. Bring forth the felt sense of gratitude, contentment, the deep, abiding joy, independent of the senses. Rub the palms together if you'd like. Place the palms over the eyes for another breath or two. Let the eyes blink open and move the hands away from the face. And if you will, reach for your journal for a little bit of contemplation. Okay, first question, and tune inward for the answer. What do you know to be true? What do you know to be true? Keep it simple and succinct. What do you know to be true? True about the nature of reality. True about the nature of the divine. And true about the nature, the essence of you. Now, what beliefs are you holding on to that are contrary to this truth or these truths? What beliefs are you holding on to that are contrary to these truths? Who is ultimately responsible for your peace and your joy? Who is ultimately responsible for your peace and your joy? Who are you currently outsourcing that responsibility to? What's the effect of that choice? What's the effect of that choice? The last question, I think. If the ultimate aim is absolute freedom and lasting fulfillment, do you suppose you'll have more success as the victim or the hero of the story? If the ultimate aim is absolute freedom and lasting fulfillment, do you suppose you'll have more success as the victim, someone who blames others for their experience of life, maybe waiting to be saved, or as the hero of the story, the one who takes full responsibility for how the story ends? Any thoughts? Because I'll share this recording, I'm going to press stop on the recording in case you do want to share. You've got a little bit more privacy.